Welcome back to Sam's Garage, presented by Brothers Truck Parts. Welcome back to Sam's Garage, where we continue working on the Hudson Hornet project. Sam, along with Doug Harris, will install the fully restored interior back in the Hornet.
I'm with Doug Harris from HE&M Saw and J Stitch from J Stitch Upholstery. Now, in my opinion, the interior is the most important part of any restoration because you spend so much time in the car.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and Jay, I can't even tell you the job you did. Like, this is impeccable. And you had to make your own foam. You had really nothing to work with.
It was tedious.
Lots of measurements, right?
Yes, measurements, that's the key.
And you know, even though you're doing something like this and we went back and forth with each other trying to get this right, there's always something that you come across where you may have to go back and say, like you said this morning, the kick panels aren't there.
Right.
And the B pillars he had to do on the spot because they weren't there. The body guy had them. So whenever you're doing a restoration, there's always back and forth going on. But you got to do it to get a good, final, beautiful product.
Yeah, Jay, and the foam you used in this, when I sat down on it, is so comfortable. We're going to be doing the great race, so we want to be comfortable on it. And the job, outstanding.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I love the fact that you used leather.
Yes.
The colors you went with.
Yes.
I know you came back and forth with me several times, making sure you want to get the colors correct.
Right.
You did a good job on that. And the headliner is suede. So that is pretty cool. You know, to update the fabrics inside the car is a good job. The carpet looks period correct.
Thank you.
So let's go ahead and start installing the interior.
So guys, when you using the glue gun, what you want to do is regulate it to 65 PSI to get you a nice strong spray. And you want to spray the glue to both sides of the panel and give it a minute to dry before you stick it on. It will take about 2 minutes. I usually use 2 minutes to dry before I stick it. These door panels are actually made from scratch. I had to take a few measurements. You have to always measure twice to be sure. Everything came out great. It's definitely a challenge, but it came out pretty good. I love it. Also, the headliner, had to make this headliner from scratch, and that turned out fairly well also.
Jay, this looks so good in here with the panels all done, the headliner all done.
Thank you.
You guys took some time to do that headliner. I saw you.
Oh, yes.
You have a couple days in that, but it's worth it. It's tedious, takes time. And I noticed you have a box of razor blades. When you're doing interior work like this, you always want to use a nice sharp razor blade, right?
Yes.
So when you're cutting the edges.
Yeah, they dull out quick, so yeah, you need a whole box probably to do this. Takes a whole box.
Absolutely. What do you think, Doug? It looks good, doesn't it?
I'm impressed. I'm looking at the detail work onto it, the stitching, everything on it. I mean,
even something like this. This goes right here on the seat and covers the area that the seat doesn't cover. And he was able to, this was still in place even though the carpet was out. And look how nice he did on that. All leather. Every inch of this interior is leather.
Yes.
Very good job. Look at the armrests on the rear side panels. Very cool.
It's very cool. You know, I'm looking at all of this thinking, my God, I think it's nicer than my house.
All right, so then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put all the trim up, put the weather stripping up, and the last thing we're gonna do on the interior is gonna be the assembly of the rear bench seat and the front seat, putting the mechanism back in, and I still have my access hole to fill up my transmission.